if everybody would stand, Patty Tyler's going to sing the national anthem.
Good evening, everyone. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and please face the flag if you're able. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? God bless America, God bless our troops, and vote Republican, everybody!
That should be good. At this time, we're going to ask the candidates one by one to come up and speak for 4 or 5 minutes, just an introduction of themselves. If you have questions for these candidates, you'll be able to mix and mingle after they're all done speaking. We're going to go down, start here with Mr. Ken Blankenbush, our current 117th Assembly District Assemblyman.
Thank you. Tonight is a Meet the Candidates night, and I just want to let you know I am not a candidate. After 15 years of representing the 117th District, I've decided not to run this year, and I just wanted to be here to support the Republican candidates that are here. There's 2 people that I've actually worked with really close, and that's Robert Smullen, who's running for the 21st Congressional District. I worked with Robert for 8 years, and I can tell you right now, he can represent the North Country and the Mohawk Valley with the traditional values of all of us here. He's a hard worker. I don't know if we have ever disagreed on any of the things that we, on policy that for that 8 years. So I'm glad to be endorsing him and supporting him. Along with working with Joe Griffo for all these years, even though he harasses me all the time, I'll miss working with him, and I've really enjoyed over the years. When I was first redistricted into Oneida County, I didn't know anyone in Oneida County. And Joe said to me, wherever we go in your district, no matter what town it was, he brought me, introduced me to people, and I'll never forget that. That was back in 2012 or 13 or whenever it was. So I really appreciated Senator Griffo. Now, the other thing is, the reason I feel pretty good about leaving the seat is that I hope and I know that the person that's going to take over for me will work hard, because she's worked hard for me for 3 years as my chief of staff. By the way, she's not my chief of staff anymore, so as soon as she turns in the petitions, I have to fire her, because you can't work for me and be a candidate. So she's gone. But anyway, I endorsed her right off the bat. When I announced I was retiring, I knew that Tammy would be able to fill that seat. One of my obligations is, what I thought my obligation was when I decided to retire, is one, find a good Republican that can take over for me, and two, someone that is as hardworking and capable of doing the job. A chief of staff knows the ins and outs of Albany already, knows the ins and out of working with constituents and grants and all of the stuff. By the way, more than I do, to tell you the truth, because she was involved with a lot of the stuff. So I just want to tell you that I'm here to support the candidates, all of our Republican candidates, and I want to thank. Now, I've only been the representative for Lee for, I believe, 4 years when they redistricted me. Boonville and Lee were my two new ones. But I know that Tammy will be down here a lot working. I hope you get to know her like I know her. She's going to be a great representative for all of us in the 117th district. And I also want to thank everybody for the support that I got over the years from all of our committee people. The committee people are the backbone of the party. They're the ones that are going out getting petitions signed. And since we changed the primary, we're out there in pretty crappy weather trying to get petitions signed. So I want to thank all of the committee people who do the hard work to get us on the ballot. Once again, I want to thank you all, and I'll be around. But, you know, in January 1st, they'll say, Ken who? But anyway, it's been a great time representing everybody here. Thank you very much. Too long, huh?
Thank you, Ken. Mr. Hood?
Thank you. You mind if I do a prayer? All right. We forgot to do the prayer in the beginning. Do me a favor, bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for this day, for bringing us together. Dear Lord, help us to be good leaders, to be victorious in November. And dear Lord, to change this state for good, for the people who live here, our families, our children, and our grandchildren. Help us to be prosperous and to do your will. Dear Lord, watch over us. Amen. All right. Get this rolling. No, you're not in church on Sunday morning. I like to start the meetings out like that because it's so important moving forward, and that's the one thing that's going to save us, right? So my name's Todd Hood. I'm honored to be running for Lieutenant Governor alongside Bruce Blakeman. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself so you can spread the word. You guys are at the top of the food chain with elections. We all know, everyone in here, how you guys are going to vote, and you guys just have to get out there with us and spread the word. So my wife, Kelly, stand up quick, Kelly. We're 33 years married, high school sweethearts. My son, Matthew, is married, has two grandchildren. He was a Vermont State Trooper, U.S. Air Force. He worked for Syracuse PD for a while, and now he works for me. Josh and Bella, my son and future daughter-in-law, raise your hand quick. Josh is a Syracuse cop, like I was, so he works the downtown district, so he's fighting with people constantly in the bars. If you ever see him down there, and he's losing the battle, which does not happen. Give him a hand. And my daughter, Anna, she moved down to North Carolina. So Anna, my daughter, was elected, is the youngest elected official in Oneida. At like age 21, she got elected as city chamberlain. So she pulled off a big one, but there wasn't much going on in New York, so there were a lot more opportunities, as we're seeing mass exodus from New York, and we're going to fix some of that here. I went to Oneida, Springfield College, and I'm a lifelong resident of upstate New York, which I will not forget. You have my promise. Upstate New York will not be forgotten. I'll be in Bruce's ear the whole time. I've worked in corrections. I worked for Syracuse PD, as I said, for 22 years. Investigations, I was a SWAT team leader, worked in the gang unit, worked for the U.S. Marshals, deputized, and for Bill Fitzpatrick in the District Attorney's Office in Onondaga County. I'm in my fourth term as sheriff in Madison County, my third term as sheriff in Madison County, New York. One of my biggest programs in my jail is the jail ministries that I have. I got them all going in there Sunday morning. It took a lot of time. and I get them to go to church on Sunday, and yes, I bribe them with a donut if they go to the service Sunday morning, because it worked for me when I was 14 years old. So I feel that's one way we can turn these people around. You know, they have all the drugs, the Suboxone and everything that they think's going to work. So I believe that the religious services will help. I'm the National Sheriff's Association School Safety Chairman, so I set some of the policies across the state for bullying, vaping, school violence, things like that. And I'm the New York State Sheriff's Association Vice President. I'll be brief with the next part. So I remember 2018 going into 19 when like 30 inmates walked out of my jail, and one of them was like, it was when bail reform came in, and we had to get out so that we were compliant with that. And one of the inmates is like, Sheriff, just so you know, I don't believe in this, but I'm going anyways. Yeah, so they ran out, and it's been a uphill battle, downhill for New York State ever since then. If you don't know what bail reform is, we're mandated as cops to hand appearance tickets for bad behavior. So they go out and they reoffend for 6 months till they're finally held accountable, and it's destroying our state. And however we can fix that, we're going to fix it, whether it be by executive order or legislation, whatever we have to do, we're going to do it. Under Kathy Hochul, New York is less safe and less affordable. Crime is up and costs are up. Repeat offenders should do one thing. They should repeat prison, not repeat arrests in New York State. You can clap for that one if you want. Yeah. New York has become the most unaffordable state in America. The highest taxes, sky-high electric bills, and hundreds of thousands of families are leaving because they can't afford to stay, and no one should have to leave New York to make ends meet. Here are the promises you guys can help us spread. No state income tax on the first $50,000 for individuals, and no state income tax on the first $100,000 for families. 2, we're going to stop wasteful spending on illegal immigrants. They're up to $8 billion in the last 4 years. It's insane the amount of money that they are throwing of your tax dollars away at people that don't even live here, and it's going to stop our first day of office when we get in there. This year, the state budget is $270 billion, right? You've already heard it. It's not even close to Florida, and they just did a study. We're throwing away $81,000 per homeless person in New York City with everything that comes in together with social services and housing. It comes out to $81,000 a person. We can do better than that. Also, we're going to cut Medicaid fraud, the CD, PAP. That's where a family, some of it's good. The family can care for the person in the family that needs it, but there's massive fraud they're finding. They're paying people our money. They don't even live in the state anymore to do that, and we're just going to clean that up. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Bruce quick, and then I'll get off the stage. Bruce, our next governor of New York State, he's the Nassau County executive. He was reelected in a county with over 110,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans. So that's pretty impressive right there. He's hired 600 new police and COs and didn't raise taxes in the last 4 years. And you know how he did it? It was nonsense from the administration from him. There was a $150 million giveaway, and he said, you know what? That's not common sense, and he canceled it. And he's going to do stuff like that in New York State. We want safety and affordability. You can't have one without the other. And basically, one of the reasons why I'm here, it's going to be families first, not criminals first in New York State. We're going to fix some of the damage that was done, hopefully all of the damage that was done. I was talking to some of the corrections officers that are in here. They know, as well as we know, what's going on in this state, and we're going to clean it up. May God bless all of you. God bless the great state of New York. Please go vote and bring people with you. Early vote. Sign up your relatives so they can get out early. Nicole, right? Raise your hand. Stand up. She will mail you a ballot at your house stamped with a return envelope so that people can just fill it out and send it back in. The Democrats are doing it, and we have to do it. You guys have a great day, and thank you for having me and putting up with me. Robert? Here you go, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Isn't Todd going to be a great lieutenant governor? Hell yeah! Blakeman and Hood, it's going to be good. I really believe it. Can everybody hear me? Maybe I got a little microphone issue. I've blown the microphone up. There we go. Hey, I'm Robert Smullen. I'm running for Congress in New York's 21st Congressional District. That's the northern part of Oneida County. And I really, really, really want to say thank you. My role, my goal, my mission here tonight, I was in the Marine Corps, so I believe in mission, is to say thank you. Thank you, first of all, to the Town of Lee Republican Committee for the endorsement. Doug, thank you so much. You and your committee, I really appreciate that. Thank you. It really means a lot because in this race, it's a primary, and I believe from the bottom of my heart that I'm the best candidate for this. I'm the strong, substantive, common sense, solid Republican who's been a lifelong Republican in upstate New York. And I'm running to go from the state assembly. Thank you, Ken Blankenbush, for the endorsement. I really do truly appreciate that. Ken and I have been colleagues. Tammy is going to be a great representative in the assembly. We are going to work together to win Tammy's race, but we're also going to work to win the race because it's so important. Here's what's going to happen. We just finished up petition season, right? We turned in almost 10,000 petition signatures. For those committee members that are here in this room that got petition signatures for everybody up and down the ballot, thank you so much. My wife Megan and I are here. We love being committee members from the town of Johnstown. We love knocking on our neighbors' doors saying, can you help nominate this person to get them on the ballot? Can you petition your government, as is our right as citizens, to do something? And in this case, the sacred duty is to get on the ballot. And I'm very pleased. We are on the ballot in spades. We've got almost 7 times the amount of signatures because of folks just like you to be able to do it. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for getting us on the ballot. Because I'm here. Yeah, thanks, Todd. Everybody give yourself a round of applause. Because this race is going to be like no other, the one that I'm running for in NY21. It's to replace our great Congresswoman, Elise Stefanik. She is not running. She is going to vacate the seat, and I'm running as the GOP endorsed Republican. I've been endorsed by the state Republican Party, by 12 of the 15 committees that are around the district. I've been endorsed by the New York State Conservative Party. So we are on a roll. I've been endorsed by the Troopers PBA. I've been endorsed by the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association. I believe representing this area, I directly represent the values of the vast majority of the people, and certainly all the Republicans. I'm the only conservative Republican in the race. I'm the only one that's been a lifelong Republican that's in this race. So what I'm asking for is your help and your support. Not only to get on the petition, but let's keep it going. Can you take 10 minutes and tell a friend? I call it take 10, tell a friend. You pull out your phone, you talk to 10 of your neighbors, and you say, hey, I met Robert Smullen at a meet and greet right here in the town of Lee. I'm very proud to have represented the town in the past before redistricting. But can you do that for me? Can you tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your colleagues that you've met me and that I am the right person in this primary? I'm the only conservative Republican in the primary. And I see Doug's ready to give me the hook here because I don't want to blow my time. And Joe Griffo is going to make fun of me in about 2 seconds when he stands up here next. And I appreciate that. But I really do need your help. I'm running hard, running to win. Thank you for having Megan and I here, and we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
This guy needs no introduction. Everybody knows him. But, Mr. Smullen, you touched on something. It jogged my memory. Petitions. Do you or Mr. Griffo happen to know who it was that switched the petitioning time to February and March?
I do in the assembly.
Who specifically brought that up?
It was the chair of the Assembly Elections Committee.
Nice.
Yeah. And they did it on purpose to take us all off. I'm telling you. They literally, I don't mean to, they laughed.
Every time we petition,
February, yeah.
something different happens, and I got to mention this one.
Yeah.
This year, we were out there very early petitioning. I knocked on this guy's door. His driveway up in the northern part of Lee here was like a skating rink with water on top of it. And he's standing in the doorway, says, come on in. And I'm like, I got to get across this. So I get up to the house, open the door, says, come on in. I come in. He shuts the door behind me. The guy was as big as Mr. Hood. And he's standing in front of the door. I ain't going to sign your petition. And I said, well, but you're going to hear what I got to say. And I started to get a tongue lashing over the utility bills. So he was not going to let me leave. And he kept going on and on and on. He says, I might as well become a Democrat in this state. So I said, look, pal, I'm just a volunteer. I'm out getting these petitions. He was not going to let me leave. So I said to myself, I said, how do I get out of this? And I said, did you get a reduction in your county property tax this year? He goes, I did. I go, that was the town of Lee. They gave you a reduction in your property taxes with surplus money. He says, I'll sign your petition. So we got out of it, thanks to Mr. Jones and the town board for that reduction that they put forth this year. Joe?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you all for being here tonight. When Assemblyman Blankenbush said that after January 1st they're going to say Ken who, I said they've been saying that for the last year and a half. So the other thing is with Sheriff Hood, we got an amazing guy here, and it was great to know him. And he does say that prayer, and he uses it as incentive for the jail. But I'll tell you how he caught everybody's attention to Albany. We invited him to Albany to say a prayer before the legislature, and he was very succinct. Not like next congressman here. He was very short, in his speech. He just said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And that launched his career. So it's an honor for me to be home, to be with all of you. I want to thank the chairman and all the town committee, but all of you are here tonight because you have a true and sincere interest in our community and making our state better. And we can never lose hope. Storms make people tougher, and storms never last forever. And we now are facing a storm in this state, a storm where people are facing unacceptable cost of living, where you cannot afford to live in this state anymore. You heard a story about young people that lack opportunity, economic opportunity, and the fact that people can't afford and are making difficult choices on how they're going to run their lives, because the energy bills are astronomical and beyond our control, because we're not only criticizing the other side, we're offering alternatives that we know will bring New York to a better place, but they're falling on deaf ears. They don't want to hear it because all the things that are happening in Albany are based on ideology, not on common sense. Common sense is not too common in Albany these days, but it will be with Blakeman and Hood and with all of us if we can get more seats in the Senate and the Assembly. And with all of your help, we can do that because we can face the affordability crisis. We can face the energy crisis. Look at the unrealistic things about electric buses. How ridiculous that. The Assemblyman and I have a bill to help the school districts, but it's just the hypocrisy of what they do and how they do it. And in public safety, the bills, I won't even call it bail reform, Sheriff, because they want to say that it's bail changes that are ridiculous and stupid. And not in the best interest of anybody. So we need Bruce Blakeman and Todd Hood. We need guys like Smullen and the team that you see here, the Republican team, Row B. So this year, please, we can't lose hope. We need to fight. We need to carry the message. We'll do our best. We will not let you down. We're going to be everywhere, and we're going to be articulating that message to the people of the state. We got to make sure it resonates. I don't know how anybody can say that we're in a better place. 60% of New Yorkers say we're going in the wrong direction, and yet this governor is still leading in the polls. The person who is leading them in the direction they don't want to go. We got a job ahead of us. We need to really give it everything we have, and I know you will, and with all of your support, we can hopefully have a very successful year. Thank you all, and God bless you.
It's tight quarters up here, so I didn't want to fall. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody. This is the first really nice night, and I know you all know that, and it's warm out, and you probably wanted to be on your back porch having a glass of wine. So thank you very, very much for being here and sharing some time with us. It's a great team to be a part of. It's pretty amazing, very supportive. There are 4 counties that are involved in the 117th. And in Oneida County, I can tell you, the candidates, I believe, are the most supportive of each other. It's always great to come down here and see everybody. So I'm running because I'm a rural New York girl. I loved I was very, very thrilled when Brian said he was going to be here. I'm a daughter of Department Corrections parents. I grew up with my parents hunting. I grew up taking care of horses, and I grew up in a rural town up in Jefferson County. I live there now. I live in the town of Luray, which is home to Fort Drum, the most deployed Army base in the U.S. We support our troops. We're very happy to have a base there and that resource. The district is interesting. It is 49 towns, not one city. Love that. We go all the way up to Brazier Falls in St. Lawrence County. There are 19 towns in St. Lawrence County. We go into Jefferson. There's 5 towns, all of Lewis County. And then we have 8 towns here in Oneida County. And I will tell you, the 49 towns are all very similar. Our values are the same. What we want for our families is the same. What we do not want for our families is the same. And so the fight is simple. And do not be mistaken, when we go to Albany, we need to fight. Our voices need to be heard. And so I know that I will be passionate. I know that I will outwork anyone. That is just who I am and how I grew up. And I know that I can confidently tell you, thank you very much to the Town of Lee Republican Committee. I'm a committee member. My husband's a committee member. The big joke is he has his notary, so that's why I married him, so he can go get conservative signatures. We are very, very appreciative because in Oneida County, because I don't live here, it was a little wonky. We didn't know. We had great relationships, but we weren't sure about the county endorsement. And I will tell you, the Town of Lee led that charge. And I just want to say thank you to Doug, and I want to say thank you to every single person who went out and got petitions. And if you haven't gotten your thank you card, you're going to get your thank you card, because that's the first thing I do, because I very much appreciate the time that you do, and I know everybody who went out there. So I'm confident to tell you, you made a good choice, and I will do the very best job that I can. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us tonight. My name is Jared Pearl, and I'm the Republican and Conservative candidate for Oneida County Sheriff. Just want to give you a little quick background, but before I start, I want to say thank you to my other half right there, Nikki Shortell, the Commissioner of the Board of Elections for Oneida County. I was a committee member of the Republican Committee from 1992 to 2010, but we used to go out and get signatures in June. So to all the committee people in the room, thank you so much for all you do for all of our candidates up here. Thank you to Doug for putting this together. It's a great turnout. I greatly appreciate it. Just a little bit of background about myself. I grew up in Marcy, New York. My parents were hobby farmers. My dad had beef cows, and he also worked at Mid-State Correctional Facility for 47 years. So he did that, and my mother ran a horse farm for us, too. So in 1992, I joined the Oneida County Sheriff's Mounted Unit. It was a volunteer unit, and we did horse patrol for K-Rockathon, for those that can remember that, at Vernon Downs and all those kind of stuff, and parades. Under then, it was Sheriff Washburn, and then Sheriff Middall ended up coming in and taking over for the Mounted Unit, too. I became a corrections officer in the Oneida County Jail in 1993 to 1995, and I worked as a part-time special deputy in the jail, but we actually worked full-time hours. In 95, I left, and I went to New York State Corrections. I worked Sing Sing Correctional Facility for almost 3 years, and then I went on to Fishkill Correctional Facility and Mid-State Correctional Facility. So to my brothers over there for Corrections Niscoba, I just want to say this: thank you. I worked in your shoes, I walked in your shoes, and times are different in corrections right now. They're getting a little bit of a black eye out there, and they don't deserve that. You know what? They're just doing the job, and they're getting it done, and they're taking care of us on the streets. So thank you guys over there. In 2001, I left State Corrections, and I went to, while I was with State Corrections, I was working Dolgeville PD in Herkimer County part-time. And then back in, I went from Dowdesville PD, left State Corrections, and went to Clay PD out in there, Syracuse. I was in Syracuse and Clay PD out there for 2 years, and then went to the State Police and finished my 24-year career and just retired as a senior investigator just shortly, about 3-4 weeks ago. So on the other side of my life, in that law enforcement career, I had a lot of good time to meet a lot of good people here. Frank McCauley, Eddie D'Alessandro, Rick D'Alessandro's son. I worked for his dad, which was crazy. This gentleman here, Todd Hood, we worked together back in '93. Todd patrolled the streets in Oneida County. I'll say this, Kirkland PD and New York State Parks Police. He was up here at Lake Delta when I was a night watchman up here. So Todd's the real deal. He's a cop's cop. And we need to get him in as lieutenant governor, and Bruce too. And Mr. Smullen, I come from a family of veterans. My dad was a Vietnam veteran, my uncle, everybody. You forgot to mention you're a United States Marine.
Semper Fi.
Deserves it, so. After I left the state police, I also, on the other side of the house, I'm also a volunteer fireman for the last 34 years in the Maynard Fire Department in Marcy, New York. Also an advanced EMT, and I'm currently the chief for the last 12 years there. So I sat as the Oneida County president for the Oneida County Chiefs Association, elected by my peers, and did all that kind of stuff. So I'm just out here trying to get some votes, get myself known a little bit more, and getting to know people out there, and we're doing door-to-door and everything else. Just a couple quick things about me. My platform is this. If you go and talk to the jail deputies, they're working 12, 16 hours, some of them like that. The state corrections guys are working 24 hours and sleeping in cots in the gym, which is ridiculous with the National Guard. We need to do stuff on that. We need to help out. We need, there are 87 deputies short in the jail. We need to address that issue. We need to look at it and look outside the box, what we can do for them. The road patrol deputies out there, cops, it's not a cop-friendly world right now. The tide is different, and we need to switch it back. Todd talked about bail reform and stuff. There's not a cop that took the oath to go arrest somebody, and when they were there in a domestic violence, they may have done something, assaulted their significant other, whatever else, and we go there, usually we pick them up, take them out of there. Now we have to give them an appearance ticket, and what do? They walk back inside and almost kill them. That's not why we did this job. We need to go on that, and Todd and Bruce, I'm sure, can make legislation to change that. But my platform is this: with the jail, we're going to do some changing in there, getting that down, because the budget they budgeted was $970,000. It's over $6 million right now. So we need to address that. The county taxes are rising. The cars, everything that I've mentioned on the radio shows and stuff, the current sheriff is reacting to it. I got to say this. We're making changes, and I'm not even in office yet. The cars driving around and all the cars that they're riding around and the Suburban RSTs and stuff like that, yes. The jail deputies, I pushed in there that needed health care in their contract. Miraculous. All of a sudden, the contract got done 4 months early, and now all of a sudden they got their health care and stuff. And I'm proud of them that they're doing that. There's other things that are happening, and they'll be coming out along the ways in the campaign. I'm not going to run a smear campaign. I'm not going to do that. I'm about pride. I'm about doing the right thing, and that's what I'm all about. But anything anybody needs any questions about, we're going to turn around the morale of the deputies, the morale in Oneida County. Sheriff Hood has taken a lot of our deputies from Oneida County, and they've gone to work for him. And I can't blame them. I would work for a cop's cop. This guy's got your back 24/7. I've been out in critical incidents with him because with the EAP, with the state police, as a senior investigator, I responded to all the critical incidents. This guy took down people. He would never ask a cop to do what he wouldn't do. So that's who I kind of model myself after. Dan Middall was my captain and stuff, so I'm going to model myself after these guys. These are guys that are the real deal. I'm going to be out there helping stuff and doing stuff, but we need to turn the morale and the deputies on the road. Their morale is rock bottom. They're hurting. We need to do stuff. I'm not going to be a photo op. I'm going to be a cop. I'm going to walk into the jail. I'm going to go make tours on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and everything, talk to our people, get them their morale turned back up, and then you don't have to salute me. You know what? You can salute me when we're out in formation, if we're at a funeral or something. My name's Jared. You don't have to have that little ego and give me the little salute and stuff. We're out there. We're going to make change for these deputies and help them. So, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I do want to thank the Town of Lee committee for having us here tonight. It's a great event. Thank you, Doug. I'm just going to echo what all my running mates have said. It's a hard task going out to get those signatures, so thank you very much for everyone who did that. I was on the Whitestown Committee for 16 years, so I know the roads well, and it's a very hard task, so we cannot thank you enough. Without you, we wouldn't be where we are, so thank you so much. My name is Mary Finnegan. I am the county clerk. I've been the county clerk now, going into my 4th year. Before I was the county clerk, I spent 16 years in the town of Whitestown as their elected clerk, so I have the most experience. I do have an opponent this year, so I hope all of you will spread the word, get everyone out to vote. Myself and my staff have completely turned my office around. We've turned the DMV around, which it's been an extremely hard task. I'm so proud of my staff and myself and the hard work that we've put in. The DMV is an animal. It really is. So to be able to bring wait times down from, people would have to take a whole day off. We've got our wait times down to 8 minutes. So we're very proud of that. We're very proud of the infrastructure. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a lifelong resident of Oneida County. I grew up here. I went to Whitesboro High School. I am the youngest of 7 children. My father served in World War II. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. My dad worked for 45 years at the Utica Psychiatric Center. Worked for Head Start for 8 years, so I have a lot of years of service. I believe in service. I believe we all need to give back. So giving back is something we can all do. In any little way we can do it, we should be doing that. April is Donate Life Month. So I hope that everybody, if you've considered donating your organs, this is the month to do it. You can do that on the website. You can do that when you renew your license. The DMV is the way that 90% of donors are located. So we are very proud of that and something that we really want to stress when we talk about the DMV. So donate life, everybody. You can't imagine what it does for people. Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. My name is Megan Dorr. I'm a candidate for Oneida County Surrogate Court Judge. Not a lot of people know what that is. It's a countywide judge position. Surrogate is Latin for substitute. So the surrogate handles trusts, estates, wills. It's the court that's there for people who are grieving the loss of a loved one, and it's a court that protects legacy. I was born and raised in the Mohawk Valley. I've lived in Oneida County for 20 years, and I wanted to just introduce myself and say thank you to everybody. I've worked for the court system for about the last 15 to 16 years, so I've been kind of apolitical. I didn't really know when I announced my candidacy all the work and that went into becoming a political candidate, and I am so grateful for all of the work that everybody has done to for the endorsement and to get signatures in this whole process. So thank you to Doug and everybody for having me, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. My name is Stuart Rude. I've been a lifelong resident here in Rome. Some of you have worked with me. Some of you have known me for probably all my life. This guy over here gave me my first job, my first quote-unquote real job, when he hired me in 1993 to be a Rome police officer. I served about 24 years in Rome. I worked part-time also in the city of Sherrill, and I also did SSO work back for this Rome City Schools District. I've been a small business owner for the last 25 years, so I know about how hard it is in the state of New York to have your taxes and what are you going to figure out and everything else. I recently was elected last fall as a Oneida County legislator. I represent Lee 4 and 5, and then down in the city of Rome between the 6th Ward, the 7th Ward, and down into the 1st Ward. These people up here give up way more time than anybody can even imagine what it does to take and run for one of these positions. Is countless hours of knocking on doors, going around, talking to people going to different events like this. The Leetown Committee has done a great job in getting this all here. This has been a great turnout as compared to last year. So I want to thank everybody for coming also. These people up here like I said, give countless hours. And it's the people over there, like Nikki and the wives and everybody else, who stand behind the people who get to come up here and talk a little bit. The expectation is unreal what you have to give up to give yourself to serve the public. And to my own, my own life, my mom was a school lunch director. I've been a police officer. Everybody looks forward to giving back to the community. This guy over here, he's a police officer. Everybody doesn't look up to that the way they used to. And to the chagrin of everybody in this room, I think that hopefully if we get the right people in power and go forward, it can turn around. Giving back to your community is incumbent upon everybody else. So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Hopefully we can change the rhetoric in Albany. If you didn't know, and being my first year as a county legislator, $1.1 million a day of our tax money gets spent on social services in the county. There's only 93% of our county budget is a mandate from the state of New York. We only have about 6 to 7% of our budget it's our taxes that pay for it. To going forward is discretionary, which is an absolute shame. We can't fund things that we know should happen or fix bridges that need to be fixed because the mandates from the state of New York control our budget in the county, which was a complete eye-opener to me as a legislator. So hopefully, if we can get guys like Todd and everybody else in line, we can change this, the way we're going, and make it more affordable for us to be in New York State. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Meade Versace, and I'm a Leetown Court Justice, and I'm running for re-election. And a lot of what I say is not political. I can't get into the politics. There's no platform that I can profess here today. But it's nice to have seen people that I've known most of my life, and it was great to have met people today that I haven't met until tonight. My parents introduced me to the town of Lee upon my birth. My birth date was yesterday. So I came home, thank you. I was actually brought home to the town of Lee 53 years ago today. And so Lee is my home. This is my community. I enjoy being here. I've been away, obviously. I went to school, college at LSU. I was there when Shaquille O'Neal was there years ago, and I saw him on campus a few times. I went to Albany Law School, and I took a few courses at Utica College. My mother's from Louisiana, so we have a lot of our family down in the state of Louisiana. We try to get down there when we can. This is my community. I've lived here most of my life. I've practiced law in the state of New York for the past 26 years. So about half of my life I've been going to work 6-7 days a week, depending upon the week, sometimes 10 to 15 hours a day. I've also been the chairman of the United Way, and I was on the board of the United Way for Rome and Western Oneida County for 6 years. I was the vice president of the United Way, and so I'm very used to helping the community and with public endeavors and helping people that need the help the most. That's why I love serving as town justice, because I think what I'm doing is making a change, and I'm being able to assist with the facilitation and the judicial economy, so to speak. Things flow rather smoothly in our court. We have a great staff, and we have a lot of supportive volunteers and people that help the court out. I was elected, actually I was appointed, I was chosen to run by John Ertz, who was the late supervisor who was there before J-Mo Jones. And John, I don't know if you knew John, anybody knew John, most of you knew John in the room, I'm sure. John was a supervisor for 51 years. And John passed away a few weeks ago. And he was a great guy, and he was incredible for our community. But John asked me to be appointed, and then I was appointed by the town board. I served 4 more years. I'm actually in my 5th year now. So I was elected in 2022 as town justice, and I've been able to utilize my experience as an attorney in having trials in Supreme Court, County Court, City Court. I've had jury trials in all those courts. I've handled eviction law, which I do about 100 evictions a year in my practice, and in addition to that, we do quite a few in Lee Town Court. So I'm pretty versed in that. I enjoy meeting with the people. One thing above and beyond applying the rule of law, there's blind justice. We apply the rule of law in our court, and there's no favoritism or anything. So anybody that comes in, the law is applied. Something that's equally important here when we're discussing requirements in town court is treating everybody who comes into that court with fairness, dignity, and respect, regardless of why they're there, if they're a victim or a defendant. Many of the people that come into court, it could be the smallest matter, it could be a traffic matter, it could be something where they're facing a stop sign ticket. That person may have been thinking about that particular court night and that appearance for weeks, if not months, before it gets resolved. And those people, we have a way of handling the process to make sure that they're comfortable and that they get the best representation, that they get representation if they so choose, and that they have a decent process for those matters. We have incorporated in our court the Forensic Evaluation Unit, which is for treatment of substance abuse. I've set up so that they come out to our court once a month on District Attorney and Public Defender Night, so that instead of having the repeat events that occur again and again and again, we try to have a sequence of treatment and a treatment team that could come in and actually not hit the symptoms but hit the source of the problem. That seems quite effective, and it's something that we've incorporated in the past 3 years and we're continuing on with. So I enjoy this job. I appreciate all the support you've given. I can't really speak politically here because of my position. Anybody that's even a candidate for a judicial position can't speak politically. So I can't get into a lot of the other issues, and I can't endorse. There are a lot of things I can't do. But I really do appreciate the turnout here, and it's remarkable. It looks like full capacity, and some of you have come from a great distance away, and some of you are locals, but thank you very much for your support. Everybody enjoy it and have a good night.
Hi, I'm Erin McCluskey. I'm also running for Town of Lee Justice. There's 2 spots in the Town of Lee, 2 town judge spots. Both are up this year for election, so both Mead and I are running on the Republican line for those 2 spots. I'm not originally from Lee, or Oneida County for that matter. I'm actually from Watertown up in Jefferson County. I moved to Oneida County in 2016 after undergrad. Shortly after that, I finally decided I wanted to go back to law school, complete the family legacy. I think I'm the 5th generation lawyer in my family. If elected, I think I'll be the 5th generation judge in my family. So that's something that would be extremely proud to do. So I moved here in 2016. Live in Lee now. My fiance, who's right over there, we get married next month. He moved to Lee in 2019. His family actually moved up here from Long Island. They did research in the Rome area and based on their research, the town of Lee is where they wanted to live. They're very proud to have moved here. I'm proud to have moved here, and I'd be extremely proud to serve the town of Lee if elected. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all the candidates for coming tonight, taking the time out of your days to be here. We got a lot of food out there. I hope you all enjoy that. I would like to mention just a few other people I see here. We got, if you'd stand up, Jen McCullough from our town board. Christine Pfeiffer, our town clerk. Lawrence J.Mo Jones, our town supervisor. I believe Mr. Dolan, a former chairman of this committee for 16 years. He's here as well. Commissioner of Jurors for Oneida County. I don't know if I missed anybody else. We have any other electeds here? Yes. Sitting over there towards his daughter is James McCluskey, Supreme Court Justice. Sits on the bench in Watertown, New York. I hope everybody here will grab some food and enjoy the rest of the evening. Attention. They'd like to get a photo with all the candidates, a group photo, so with the candidates, please come back up.
And by Town Civic Affairs.
They want to do a photo
It's your
here.
community, and it's your future.
They need you back up front for a minute. Don, could you get a photo? My camera's not working too good.